Welcome to Living in Flow. I am Stasha. Welcome to our first part in our series on what in heck all of the phases of our cycle are, how they work. We're going through the overview here. So each phase of your cycle has different superpowers in it. There's certain things that are happening in your cycle with your hormones. There's certain ways that these phases should look. And that there's absolutely correlation to moon and element and energy during each of these. So I'm going to read a bit from The Revolution Will Be Bloody. Today we're going to talk about the menstrual phase. That means in the next couple of days we're going to talk about follicular, ovulation, luteal, and deep luteal. But today we're going to focus solely on the menstrual phase. And to make sure that I don't ramble on for far too long, I'm going to set a timer. Because I can go over and over days and days and days about the menstrual phase. So, all right. So, your menstrual phase. This is when you get your period. Day 1 is marked by the first full day that you have a bleed. So, if you get like a late afternoon period, you would start the next day as day 1. Generally, if it's in the morning, that's pretty much day 1. Spotting does not count. You want your first bleed, so it should be healthy, bright red blood. And this phase looks ideally, it should have blood that's bright red, maybe even a little bit pink. It should last around 5 to 7 days, although anything between 2 and 7 is considered within the normal range. A bleed that lasts longer than 7 days is a signal that you're not ovulating properly. Ooh, and we'll talk about ovulation in 2 more videos. Your average menstrual blood loss is 35 milliliters, which is just over 2 tablespoons. So it feels like a lot, and it is a lot, but it's also not a lot. So if you use a menstrual cup, this is a really great way to gauge whether or not you're actually losing the amount of blood you should be or not. I've had a lot of clients who discovered that they were bleeding far more than they should have been by switching over to a cup, though after using the cup for a couple of months, their bleeds started to lighten, some of them anyway. So one of the things that I do talk about in the book is tampons, cups, eco-friendly solutions. And I have shared some stories of people who have just made the switch from disposables to eco-friendly and seen an improvement in cramps, PMS symptoms, blood loss, all kinds of things. So just wanted to throw that out there in the menstrual phase. Hormonally, there's some pretty cool stuff going on in your body. You are fading to base levels during your period. So what happens is you have the hormones going on in your luteal phase, which when we get to the luteal phase videos, you'll hear more about that. But you've got some hormones that are on the rise or up there pretty high during your luteal phase, and they descend. And when they've descended fully, this is what signals your body to start your bleed. So you come down to base levels. This can mean that your testosterone may be the highest level in your body, or that your estrogen, testosterone are all kind of on the same base level. So a lot of times women will feel more sexually adventurous or desire in their menstrual phase because their testosterone might actually just be a tad higher than their estrogen at the time, which is not a bad thing. There's not, there should be balance, but it's not a bad thing for that to happen. It's actually kind of a normal thing, though we are led to believe that our periods are disgusting and dirty and gross and should have nothing to do with anything, and you should be secluded during them, but actually it can be really fun. So you have these baseline hormones, and one of my favorite things to do when somebody says like, oh man, what are you on the rag, is to say, well, this is when my hormones are most like a man, so this is what it's like to live with you all the time. Just a little something for the haters. So what does this have to do with the moon? Well, the menstrual phase is associated with the new moon. That doesn't mean you have to bleed on the new moon. It's just associated with the new moon. You're not doing it wrong if you're not getting your bleed on the new moon. But the energy is the same. It's that very introverted energy. So if you're not cycling for any reason, you may have had a hysterectomy, be breastfeeding, not have a uterus for any reason under the sun, You will still most likely feel a bit of introverted energy during this phase, and that's that new moon energy. So you will see, if you start paying attention to the world, you will see that during the new moon, people are just a bit more chill. It's kind of a fun thing to watch, and that also goes for the menstrual cycle. People tend to be more introverted and chill during their menstrual cycle. So that's a little bit about that. There's actually more in my book on the new moon and how we used to cycle with it. Not everybody, but most people, and how we got back to doing that. And there's a whole process of where you can actually sleep with the moon to help regulate your cycle. So it's a really very cool and symbiotic relationship when we actually start to enjoy it. Again, that just comes back to run towards your body instead of away from it. So your menstrual phase is your full yin expression. This is when you're at your most introverted. It's your winter and your water phases. So this is the time when we are in that winter time, in that very yin time. It's very, again, introverted. If you think about winter, like a classic snow-capped mountain curled up with a cup of tea by the fire and a good book and a snuggly blanket and some hot chocolate, maybe. That's really what we're talking about here. It's your winter phase, and you need winter. Seeds need that cold so that they sprout in the spring. Animals need to hibernate or chill or relax during this phase. They use, so we are part of the ecosystem, right? So we should be resting during this phase of our cycle. It's also the water phase. Water is full yin. So when you're thinking about this phase, just imagine a womb-like cavern filled with salt water and just that deep, dark, very goddess of the underworld time. Very, Persephone in her full power and glory ruling under the underworld over the river Styx. So it's got that very deep, powerful, powerful energy. And we are going to talk about how to use these phases for business, as coaches, in upcoming videos. So right now, just talking about the basics, and then we'll talk about how to use this information more for life, business, basics, those kinds of things in the coming videos. And we'll actually talk more about, and in the book as well, we talk more about how you can use all 6 of your senses to really support yourself in this phase. So for right now, I would just like to hear what your menstrual cycle, your menstrual phase is like. Do you identify with that new moon idea, that winter, that yin, that water element? Or does something else feel like it's happening for you? Remember, there's no wrong. There's definitely the ideal, and you definitely don't want to be having longer periods, painful periods. They're not supposed to be painful. They're not supposed to be hard. They're not supposed to be horrific or terrible. They're supposed to be okay, and you are supposed to chill, but you're not supposed to be knocked to the floor, okay? So I'm keeping these under 10 minutes. I love you. Mwah. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. We'll talk about the follicular phase. Bye.